Ladies and gentlemen, today we confront one of the most destructive forces that can infiltrate the hearts and minds of individuals: jealousy. It is a subtle poison that rots the spirit, distorts perception, and keeps us from stepping into our fullest potential. But we must understand that jealousy is not a reflection of our inadequacies, but rather the insecurity of those who do not understand their own purpose. Jealousy is a force that quietly creeps into the hearts of many, often undetected until it manifests in destructive words and actions. Like a silent storm, it brews within individuals who have yet to grasp their own true purpose. At its core, jealousy is not a reflection of your shortcomings, but a glaring manifestation of the insecurities within those who harbor it. When you step into your greatness, when you start to shine in a way that others cannot understand, you are bound to attract this emotion. And as much as we would like to dismiss it, we must realize that jealousy is not about us, it is about them. People who are jealous of your success or achievements often speak words that are designed to bring you down. But these words are not truly about your worth. They are a reflection of their inability to recognize their own potential. And the fear that someone else's success is a reminder of their perceived failure. Jealousy is deeply rooted in comparison. When someone feels threatened by your rise, they resort to diminishing your value in their words, not because they truly believe you are undeserving, but because they are unable to accept their own lack of growth. One of the most common phrases you will hear from jealous people is, "You don't deserve that." When someone tells you this, do not be offended. Understand that they are not questioning your value, but projecting their own fears and limitations. The jealous individual often feels that if they cannot achieve something, neither should anyone else. They look at your success, your achievements, and feel that it somehow diminishes their own journey. What they fail to recognize is that your success does not take away from their potential, but instead, it should be a source of inspiration. When someone says, "You don't deserve that," what they are truly communicating is their inability to believe that success is available for everyone. Their perspective is clouded by envy, and they fail to see that success comes to those who are willing to work for it, who put in the effort and remain committed to their goals. Their inability to understand this leads them to believe that success is a finite resource, that there is only so much to go around. This scarcity mentality breeds jealousy, and in their attempt to diminish your worth, they end up exposing their own limitations. Another common phrase from the jealous individual is, "It's just luck." When you hear these words, recognize that jealousy is speaking through them. What they are trying to convey is that your success is not the result of your hard work, but rather the random, chance events that led you to your current position. By attributing your achievements to luck, they remove the need for any acknowledgement of the sacrifices, struggles, and dedication you have poured into your work. Jealous people, unable to see the effort you have put in, desperately try to reduce your success to a mere coincidence, something that could happen to anyone, and therefore not worthy of admiration. This mindset speaks to the deeper insecurity within the jealous person. It's much easier to believe that someone else's success is due to luck than to admit that success is earned, and that they themselves may be capable of achieving something similar if they were willing to put in the work. Luck is a concept that allows them to distance themselves from the truth that success requires discipline, focus, and perseverance. By reducing your achievements to chance, they do not have to face the uncomfortable reality that their own lack of effort or direction might be the reason they are not seeing the same results. And then there is the phrase, "You're not that special." This is perhaps one of the most telling signs of jealousy. When someone tells you that you're not special, they are not truly attacking your uniqueness. They are simply unable to see it. They are trapped in their own world of comparison, where they cannot comprehend that you are different, because they have not yet discovered the greatness within themselves. They believe that your success is undeserved, or that anyone could achieve the same thing. But in reality, they are only projecting their own lack of understanding. They are unable to see that each person is unique, and each person's path is one of personal discovery and growth. When they say, "You're not that special," what they are really expressing is their own struggle with accepting their own specialness. They are unable to recognize that each person has been uniquely created with a purpose, and your greatness does not diminish theirs. The jealous heart is blind to the fact that there is enough room for everyone to be extraordinary in their own right. But their lack of self-awareness and their inability to understand their own value forces them to belittle yours. The response to jealousy is not to retaliate with words, but to continue shining in your own light. When people speak these words to you, do not be discouraged. Understand that their words are not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their own internal struggles. Rise above their words by continuing to pursue your purpose, by staying true to the path that you have been called to walk. Your success is not a threat to anyone, but a testament to what can happen when someone embraces their purpose with passion and determination. In the end, the words of jealous people are not to be feared, but understood. They are not a measure of your value. They are merely a glimpse into the limitations and fears of others. Do not let their words derail your progress. Instead, let them be a reminder that your success is not only your own, but a beacon for others who are yet to realize their full potential. Keep moving forward, stay focused on your purpose, and know that you are special. You deserve all that you have achieved, and your journey is one of greatness that can never be diminished by the words of others. What a person says is not merely a collection of random thoughts strung together. It is a clear and unmistakable reflection of what lies within them. Words are powerful tools that reveal the true state of the heart and the condition of the soul. When someone speaks, they unveil the innermost workings of their mind, their fears, and their insecurities. In the case of jealousy, these words carry a specific agenda. They aim to diminish, discredit, and destroy because the jealous individual is unable to comprehend the greatness of another person's potential. Jealousy is often born out of a deep sense of inadequacy. It arises when someone feels that their own life is lacking, their own potential is unfulfilled, or their own dreams are unattainable. When this internal unrest goes unchecked, it projects itself outwardly through words that attempt to bring others down. These words are not just random complaints or criticisms. They are the expression of internal turmoil and dissatisfaction. When jealousy speaks, it does so in the form of words that attack the very essence of another person's journey. Words like, "You don't deserve that," "It's just luck," or "You're not that special," are not just expressions of anger or resentment. They are attempts to bring down someone who stands as a reminder of what the jealous person believes they are lacking. The words of jealousy are rooted in the inability to recognize or understand the potential within others. When someone speaks out of jealousy, it's not because they genuinely believe that the other person is undeserving, but because they fail to see the fullness of that person's potential. They cannot comprehend the sacrifices, the hard work, and the commitment it took to get to where the other person is. This lack of understanding breeds resentment, and resentment finds its voice in destructive words. Jealous people are unable to see beyond their own limitations, and in their inability to do so, they attempt to reduce the greatness of others to a level that is more comfortable for them. Jealousy speaks through words that are meant to deflate and dismiss. "It's just luck," they might say, because in their eyes, if success were earned, then it could be obtained by anyone, including them. If success were truly attainable through hard work and perseverance, then they would have it too. Their words aim to convince both themselves and others that success is not something that can be earned, but something that is granted by fate or chance. This allows them to avoid the uncomfortable truth that they may not have taken the necessary steps to achieve their own success. Their words are an attempt to make your journey feel like it has no real merit, to reduce your hard-earned victories to nothing more than random events beyond anyone's control. But words do not just reflect jealousy, they reflect everything that a person believes about themselves and the world around them. When a person speaks with positivity, encouragement, and support, it is because they have discovered a sense of inner peace and security. They do not need to tear others down because they understand that there is enough room in the world for everyone to succeed. Their words reveal a belief in abundance, in the idea that success is available to all who are willing to work for it. On the other hand, when someone speaks with jealousy, their words reveal a deep fear of scarcity, a fear that there is only so much success to go around, and that the success of others somehow diminishes their own chances. Words are a reflection of the internal dialogue that plays in the mind. The way we speak reveals whether we are trapped in a mindset of limitation or operating from a place of abundance. A jealous person is often not aware of the destructive power of their words. They may think they are merely stating an opinion, but in reality, they are revealing a mindset that is rooted in fear and insecurity. When they attack the success of others, it is not a critique of the other person's journey. It is a projection of their own frustrations and fears about their own potential. At its core, jealousy stems from a lack of self-awareness. It is an emotional state that arises when someone cannot see the full picture of their own life, their own purpose, and their own potential. They are so focused on what others are doing that they fail to recognize that their own path is unique and filled with its own possibilities. The words of jealousy, then, are the result of someone who is unable to comprehend the vastness of another person's journey and in turn attempts to diminish it so that they can feel better about their own. When you encounter jealousy in the words of others, understand that these words are not about you. They are about the person speaking them. Their words are a mirror that reflects their inner turmoil and discontent. They are not a measure of your worth, but a measure of their internal struggle. The jealous heart cannot fathom the greatness of another's potential because it is too consumed by the limitations it perceives in itself. Therefore, it is crucial to rise above these words. Do not internalize the negativity that is directed at you. Recognize that these words come from a place of fear, not truth. Jealousy cannot diminish your greatness unless you allow it to. The words of others do not have the power to define you unless you give them that power. Stay focused on your purpose. Remain committed to your journey, and let your actions speak louder than the empty words of jealousy. The greatness within you is not something that can be taken away by the words of others. It is something that is innate and unshakable. Keep moving forward, and let your life be a testament to the fact that the words of the jealous will never define your worth. When a jealous person tells you, "You don't deserve that," it is not an accurate reflection of your worth or your journey. Rather, it is a clear sign that their perception is clouded by envy. The statement is not about your value, but about their inability to understand it. These words are often driven by an internal struggle, a belief that if they cannot achieve something, neither should anyone else. In essence, they are speaking from a place of deep insecurity and a lack of awareness about their own potential. The words, "You don't deserve that," are an attempt to diminish your accomplishments because they cannot comprehend how you reach the place you are. Jealousy does not acknowledge the hard work, sacrifices, and perseverance that are often the foundation of success. It fails to recognize the internal growth, the late nights, the moments of doubt that you have faced and overcome. Instead, the jealous heart looks at the external results, the success, the recognition, the accomplishments, and fails to see the journey that led you there. Their eyes are clouded by envy, and in their limited view, your success seems like a stroke of luck, a random twist of fate, rather than the result of focused effort and purposeful action. This statement, "You don't deserve that," often arises when someone feels that success is a finite resource. In their mind, if one person is succeeding, it must mean that someone else is failing or being left behind. They are trapped in a scarcity mentality, unable to comprehend that success is not limited to a select few. It is an abundant resource available to all who are willing to put in the work, take the risks, and remain committed to their purpose. To the jealous person, your success feels like a threat to their own possibility, and therefore they feel the need to belittle it in an attempt to restore balance in their own mind. But the truth is, your success does not diminish theirs. The fact that you are rising to new heights does not mean that there is less opportunity for them. Success is not a competition. It is an individual journey. Just because you have achieved something does not mean that someone else is now less deserving of their own success. The jealous person's inability to grasp this concept leads them to make statements that attempt to invalidate your achievements. Moreover, when someone says, "You don't deserve that," it is often an expression of their own frustration and envy. They may look at your achievements and compare them to their own perceived failures or stagnation. Rather than recognizing the unique path you've taken, they instead focus on what they have not yet accomplished. They assume that because they have not achieved the same level of success, neither should you. It's a reflection of their inability to see beyond their own limitations and their unwillingness to put in the effort required to achieve similar results. At the root of this jealousy is a deep sense of inadequacy. A jealous person cannot fathom the idea that another person's success is based on their own effort, determination, and purpose. They see success as something that can only be obtained by a few, and if someone else has it, they must have done something wrong or unfair. They often fail to understand that you have likely faced countless challenges, failures, and moments of uncertainty before reaching the place you are today. Your success is a reflection of your journey, not an arbitrary stroke of luck. In these moments, it is crucial to remember that the words of jealousy are a reflection of the speaker's internal conflict, not a reflection of your value. When they say, "You don't deserve that," they are not questioning your worth. They are revealing their own inability to appreciate what you have accomplished. Their envy blinds them to the reality that your success is earned, not given, and that you are deserving because of the time, effort, and determination you have invested in your journey. To combat these words, you must stand firm in your understanding of your own worth. Do not allow the jealous remarks of others to define your value. Know that you deserve your success because you have worked hard for it, because you have stayed committed to your purpose, and because you have never given up, even when the path seemed difficult. Success is not about luck. It is about dedication and resilience, and your rise is a testimony to your perseverance. When jealousy speaks through others, let their words roll off you like water off a duck's back. Do not let them shake your confidence or deter you from your path. Keep moving forward, knowing that your achievements are a direct result of the effort you have put into your life's work. You deserve every bit of success that comes your way, not because of luck or chance, but because you are willing to pay the price for greatness. Stay focused on your journey, and remember that their words are simply a reflection of their inability to see what you've already accomplished. When a jealous person says, "It's just luck," they are trying to diminish your success by attributing it to random chance, rather than acknowledging the intentional actions and disciplined choices that led you to where you are. In their eyes, success is something that happens by accident, something that is bestowed upon a lucky few, rather than something that is earned through hard work, persistence, and purpose. This mindset is a hallmark of jealousy, because it allows the individual to distance themselves from the reality that success is not about fate, but about the decisions we make and the efforts we put in. The phrase, "it's just luck," reflects a deeply ingrained belief that success is a finite resource, a gift that is only available to a few, and that others can somehow stumble upon it through sheer happenstance. Jealousy thrives on this notion, as it allows the jealous person to convince themselves that their own lack of success is beyond their control. By labeling your achievements as just luck, they free themselves from the uncomfortable truth that success is something that can be actively pursued, that it is not limited by external forces, but determined by personal choices, strategies, and effort. However, the reality is far different. Success is not a random stroke of good fortune that only a select few are lucky enough to experience. It is the outcome of clear decisions made with purpose. It's the result of long hours, late nights, sacrifices, and a relentless commitment to one's goals. When someone dismisses your success as just luck, they are ignoring the discipline, the sacrifices, and the hard work that have shaped your journey. They are blind to the countless hours of planning, learning, and refining that have gone into your pursuit. They fail to see that luck does not account for the resilience, the persistence, and the constant drive that have been required to reach your goals. The jealous person who attributes your success to luck is also denying their own power to change their circumstances. If success is a matter of luck, then it becomes something outside their control, something they cannot influence or attain. They see themselves as passive observers in life, hoping for a fortunate break instead of actively working toward their own success. By claiming that your achievements are due to luck, they convince themselves that their lack of success is not because of their own actions, but because they simply haven't been as lucky as you. But success is not about waiting for something to happen. It is about making choices and taking steps that align with your purpose. Luck is not the driving force behind achievement. It's the decision to stay committed even when things get tough, the decision to get up after each setback, and the decision to keep moving forward even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Luck might play a small part in certain circumstances, but it is your choices and actions that truly determine your success. You cannot control luck, but you can control your effort, your mindset, and your commitment to your goals. When a jealous person reduces your success to just luck, they are trying to rob you of the credit that you deserve. They want to make it seem as though your achievements are something anyone could stumble upon, something that is out of your hands. But this viewpoint fails to recognize the work and dedication you've put into your journey. It fails to acknowledge that your success is the result of consistent effort, focused decisions, and a deep belief in your own purpose. By attributing your achievements to luck, they create a convenient excuse for their own lack of progress. They fail to confront the reality that success requires more than hoping for a lucky break. It requires vision, perseverance, and a willingness to work relentlessly for what you believe in. This is the difference between those who make things happen and those who wait for things to happen. When you encounter this type of jealousy, it's important to understand that it is not a reflection of your inadequacies, but a projection of their own discontent. The jealous person cannot comprehend that your success is the result of conscious decisions and relentless effort. Their words are a mask for their own fear and frustration. They want to believe that success is a game of chance, because if that's true, then they are not responsible for their own lack of success. However, this mindset is a trap. If success were truly just about luck, then it would be out of our control. But the truth is, the power to achieve is in our hands. You have the ability to make choices, take actions, and work tirelessly toward your goals. Your success is not about random events, but about a purposeful journey driven by your commitment to your vision. When they say, it's just luck, remember that your success is not a matter of fate. It is the direct result of your effort, your perseverance, and your commitment to your purpose. Do not let their words discourage you or make you question the value of your achievements. Stay focused on your journey, knowing that you have earned every bit of success that has come your way. Your hard work, discipline, and purpose-driven decisions are the true sources of your success, and no one can take that away from you, no matter how much they try to downplay it. When a jealous person says, "You're not that special," it is not an accurate reflection of your uniqueness or worth. These words are not meant to diminish who you are, rather, they are a reflection of the speaker's inability to recognize their own uniqueness. The jealous person often operates from a place of comparison, and in this comparison, they cannot see beyond their own limitations. They may look at your achievements, your talents, or your success and feel threatened, but instead of acknowledging your greatness, they attempt to diminish it by reducing your significance. In their mind, by telling you that you're not that special, they try to level the playing field, to convince themselves and others that your accomplishments are not as remarkable as they appear. This mentality is rooted in insecurity. A jealous person, unable to see the value in themselves, struggles to appreciate the value in others. They are caught in a web of comparison, constantly measuring their worth against the accomplishments and progress of those around them. Rather than recognizing that every individual is unique and has their own path to follow, they view success as something that can only belong to one person at a time, leading them to devalue your accomplishments in an attempt to make themselves feel better about their own perceived shortcomings. The phrase, "You're not that special," is an attempt to flatten the playing field. It is a defensive mechanism, a way for the jealous person to avoid confronting their own feelings of inadequacy. They may feel that if they can convince you and themselves that your greatness is not unique or extraordinary, then they can alleviate the sting of their own perceived failure. They are blind to the fact that each individual is created with a unique set of talents, abilities, and experiences, and that your success is a reflection of the distinct path you have walked, just as theirs would be if they were to embrace their own uniqueness. What these individuals fail to realize is that greatness is not a limited resource. The fact that you are special does not make them any less special. There is enough room for everyone to be exceptional in their own right, but the jealous person struggles to see this. They live in a world of scarcity, believing that if you are special, then there is less room for them to be special too. This mindset keeps them trapped in a cycle of comparison and self-doubt, unable to see the vast potential within themselves. Every person has been uniquely created for a purpose, and this purpose is not something that can be measured or compared with others. Your talents, your gifts, your experiences, and your journey are all part of the unique contribution you are meant to make in the world. Similarly, the jealous person has their own purpose, their own gifts, and their own path to walk. But instead of embracing their individuality, they choose to focus on yours, unable to understand that their worth is not dependent on diminishing the value of others. When someone tells you, "You're not that special," recognize that they are not commenting on your value. They are simply revealing their own inner struggle. They are projecting their inability to see their own value onto you. They want to believe that everyone is the same, that there is no real difference between people, because this allows them to avoid the discomfort of confronting their own potential and purpose. If they can convince themselves that no one is that special, then they do not have to deal with the reality that they are not living up to their own potential. But the truth is, you are special. You are unique. Your life has purpose, and your journey is one that only you can walk. No one else can take your place, and no one else can do what you were created to do. Similarly, the jealous person has their own specialness, though they may not yet realize it. The beauty of life is that we are all given the opportunity to be exceptional in our own way, but we must first recognize and embrace our own unique value. Success and greatness are not about competing with others, but about understanding that everyone has something valuable to offer. When you hear the words, "You're not that special," do not let them diminish your sense of self. Understand that this statement comes from a place of fear, insecurity, and comparison. The jealous person is struggling with their own feelings of inadequacy and is projecting those feelings onto you. Their words do not define your worth. Your greatness is not contingent on anyone's recognition or approval. It is an intrinsic part of who you are. You have been uniquely created for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Your gifts, your talents, your experiences, and your journey are all part of what makes you special. No one can take that away from you, and no one can diminish it, no matter how much they try to reduce your significance. When jealousy speaks, let it be a reminder that the person speaking is struggling to see their own potential. You are special, and your purpose in this world is significant, regardless of the words others may use to try to diminish you. Keep walking in the fullness of your uniqueness, knowing that your greatness is a reflection of the distinct path you are meant to walk. The greatest response to jealousy is not to retaliate with words, but to elevate with action. In the face of envy and negativity, it is easy to feel the urge to defend yourself, to respond with harsh words, or a desire to prove your worth. However, the true power lies in rising above the words of jealousy through your actions, your choices, and your continued commitment to your purpose. Retaliating with anger or bitterness only perpetuates the cycle of negativity. Instead, let your success be the response to their jealousy, and let it serve as a testament to your journey and the unique path you are walking. Jealousy thrives on comparison, and it seeks to provoke you into defending your achievements or belittling others. But the most powerful response is to remain focused on your purpose and let your actions speak louder than words. When you respond to jealousy with grace and persistence, you not only rise above the negative energy directed toward you, but also set an example for others to follow. Your success should never be used as a tool to provoke envy. It should be a natural byproduct of your dedication, hard work, and commitment to your own growth. When you focus on your purpose, you stop worrying about the opinions of others. You understand that your journey is not about seeking validation or approval from those around you, but about fulfilling the unique calling you have been given. As you pursue your goals with passion and determination, you create an environment that cannot be touched by the destructive power of jealousy. Your success becomes a reflection of your own dedication and your willingness to stay true to your vision, not a source of competition for those who feel threatened by it. Allow your life to be a testimony to the truth that you are meant for greatness. This greatness does not come from the approval or admiration of others, but from your own belief in your purpose and your capacity to achieve. Jealousy often arises when others fail to see the value in themselves, but when you walk in the confidence of your own calling, you demonstrate to the world that greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is available to all who are willing to work for it, remain steadfast, and trust in their own potential. Elevating yourself above the words of jealousy is not about ignoring or dismissing the feelings of others. It is about maintaining a higher standard of conduct and not allowing the envy of others to derail your focus or your progress. People who are consumed by jealousy often project their own frustrations onto others, But this should not distract you from the pursuit of your goals. When you remain focused on your purpose, you are not only protecting your own peace and success, but also leading by example, showing others that true success is built on resilience, hard work, and a commitment to personal growth. Your life and your success are a direct reflection of your own journey, not a competition with anyone else's. It is important to remember that success does not require validation from others. When you elevate your actions above petty words or destructive criticism, you free yourself from the need to prove anything to anyone. You are not defined by the words of those who seek to tear you down, but by your own actions and the way you live out your purpose. In the face of jealousy, choose to rise above. Let your success be the response, and allow your journey to speak for itself. As you continue to walk in the fullness of your purpose, you not only disarm the jealous words of others, but also affirm that your greatness is not contingent on anyone's approval. Keep moving forward with intention and focus, knowing that your life is meant to be a testament to what is possible when you remain true to your calling. Let your actions prove that you are destined for greatness, and let that greatness shine as an example for others to follow. In conclusion, remember this: jealousy is not a reflection of who you are, but a revelation of the insecurities within others. The words of the jealous will always come, but your response is what defines your journey. Do not allow the bitterness of others to shape your path or dictate your worth. The world is filled with individuals who will attempt to diminish your light, but you were created to shine brightly, to walk boldly in the fullness of your purpose. Your greatness is not up for debate. It is an intrinsic part of your design, and no one can take that from you. Rise above the words of jealousy. Let your actions speak louder than any insult, your success louder than any criticism. The greatest way to respond to jealousy is not through retaliation, but through elevation. Elevate your character, elevate your purpose, elevate your work, and elevate the impact you make on the world. Success is not about outshining others. It is about living in the fullness of your own calling and allowing that light to inspire and empower those around you. As you move forward, understand that your life is a testimony to the truth that you were meant for greatness. Do not shrink back in the face of negativity. Walk in the assurance that the journey you are on is yours alone, and it is guided by purpose. Keep your eyes on your purpose. Stay true to the path you were meant to walk, and never allow the jealousy of others to deter you. Your success is inevitable because it is rooted in your unique calling. Let your life be the evidence that you are destined for greatness, and may you always rise above the noise, above the envy, and above the limits that others try to impose. You are special. You are unique. You are destined for greatness. Let nothing and no one ever make you doubt that.